from one of his early movies, Starstruck.
Oh dear.
It's the monkey in you that makes you want to do it.
I know, aren't those lyrics great?
And action.
So you're playing a producer who's always one step ahead of disaster and who's always trying to get out of paying his actors. I was wondering, how much research did you really need to do to play this part?
You haven't got to look too far. It's a documentary. Yeah, no, it was on the page, you know. I mean, I know it's set back in a different period of history and you need to get to know some background information and stuff, but Tom Stoppard really caught, and I hate backstage stories. They annoy me sometimes because they're so cliche ridden, and I often think they're a misperception of the workplace that I think I'm involved in. But this script sort of celebrated and deconstructed and demystified the great period of the language, you know. This is the golden age of showbiz.
Well, you see, you hit upon a good topic because people have this rarefied view of Shakespeare now, but you go back and you even look at a map of the street the Globe Theatre was on. Right down the street was a bear baiting pit.
It was the brothels, the bear baiting. You had a great night out in the 1590s.
And you know, here was this pressure put to bear on Will. He was like, look, they've got a new grizzly down the street,
yeah,
so you've got to compete with this. So, you know, don't be writing that Titus Andronicus again. Let's get something that'll draw the masses.
But Titus Andronicus was his Tarantino period, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Lots of blood and guts at the end. Absolutely.
The more polite Shakespearean purists are loath to admit that, you know, Willie wrote that one, I think, sometimes.
Sure. Well, that's the thing. I mean, he has been put behind heavy plate glass in some kind of academic museum. Not the guy that I'm interpreting. You know, when I'm in Shakespearean plays, I think this is as sexy as it can be. This is as funny as it can get. You know, this is a great analysis of political power. You know, he's Mr. Showbiz. I mean, he writes the good oil.
I'm curious. You've undergone sort of a rush of attention the last couple of years. You've always been a working actor. It's not like the work itself is a new experience to you, but the attention must be quite a shock in many ways. What's been the biggest surprise about becoming famous?
Press junkets. I think they're an inhuman, it's like, I was likening it this morning to monkeys in the Mercury space program when they put you into a very tiny metal canister and light a rocket under you and just, for a joke, send you up into suborbital space. That's what it feels like. It is actually, it's the mercantile, commercial side of the industry that I'd never really encountered before, because I am a child of the subsidized theatre system. And that really is, that's been the biggest shift, I think. Suddenly I'm in the commercial arena. And that throws up some wonderful aspects because you get paid a lot more. I can now educate my children and eat, you know.
You don't have to choose between the two.
Yeah, no. But the other side too is it throws up new challenges, like you've got to hopefully stop yourself becoming a commodity. So it makes you work a little harder on redefining what your priorities properly are.
One last question. This film is opening around Christmas in my market. Do you remember the best Christmas present you've ever received?
Gosh. I suppose. Gee. It's a hard one, that, isn't it? You're trying to find that magical moment. It's like, it's that question of, how did you feel when you got the Oscar, you know? It's like, it was never that particular moment that was the best. It was something else peripheral to it. I think probably, I found out that the birth of my son, my second child, was announced around Christmas. That was pretty kind of thrilling. That wasn't one that was actually wrapped up. No, it's lost in the dim, dark recesses of childhood, that one, I think.
I think the present you described is quite an extraordinary one. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Stop.